Inside one of Queensland's most iconic landmarks, the big pineapple on the Sunshine Coast, it's coffee time for the members of the Food and Agribusiness Network, or FAN. Warm hugs, locally grown coffee and lots of laughs. It's a simple concept that's proved powerful in bringing a group of very different food producers together.
Inspiration, there's a sense of connectiveness that we're all grappling with a lot of the same forces in the industry, and when we work together we can overcome them.
The cluster was created after the Regional Economic Development Strategy of the Sunshine Coast Council identified food and agriculture as one of the region's 7 high-value industries.
And at that point in time, the food and agribusiness industry was very, it was diverse, but everyone was working in their own direction and no real collaboration there.
The outcome was FAN, a cluster run by industry for industry, where collaboration would be key.
That's the community that we're fostering here at FAN, is share your challenges, because someone else is going to have been through that and is happy to share what happened for them, how they addressed it, but also you might be able to create a solution to that together that nobody else has ever done before.
FAN also provides a single unified industry voice for its members to government and other key stakeholders.
So the number one advantage of FAN, if you like, is having that single point of contact for organisations like the RDA, the local council, state government and of course the federal government as well to interface with on behalf of various economic development initiatives. And of course FAN then, I think, being that single body, is able to represent the breadth of interest that its growers and its members have.
FAN was one of 4 clusters to receive matched funding from Food Innovation Australia Limited, or FIAL.
Well, FIAL started in 2013 and it was in response to the industry wishing to have an organisation that represented the whole of the sector. And we started under the Growth Centre initiative, which was a $250 million investment by the Commonwealth. What we're doing is really being a thought leader. We're trying to unite the industry in working together to collaborate. So we work to share our resources, our knowledge and access to markets so we can really grow the share of Australian food in the global marketplace, which is the vision for the sector.
But it's not just here on the Sunshine Coast where food producers are joining forces. Clusters just like FAN are forming all over Australia. FermenTasmania in Launceston was another cluster awarded FIAL funding.
It's the evolution of the industry and allowing us to value add more than we have in the past, and also to start creating an entrepreneurial culture that will create the new products and the new businesses behind them or grow existing ones, and that's what FermenTasmania is all about.
The co-founder of Red Brick Road Cider was one of the first to join the fermentation cluster.
We really like the opportunity to talk to other fermenters, and you get that really a cross-pollination of ideas by talking to people outside your own industry. We're also working with FermenTasmania and the University College at the moment to develop a cider making short course, which will be the first of its kind in the Southern Hemisphere.
FermenTasmania's model is user pays, with the ultimate dream being the construction of a centre for excellence for fermentation.
It's essentially going to be an incubator, a facility where people can come along and have a bit of a play, do a bit of training, learn how to make something. You can have your hand held from concept through to market testing all the way through to production.
FIAL's grant allowed FermenTasmania to employ a CEO. FAN on the Sunshine Coast, meantime, expanded its staff from 1 to 5, allowing the network to move into export programs and other more commercially focused initiatives. One of FAN's largest members is Budrum Ginger Group, established in 1941.
On this site here we have about 120 people on staff. We're a publicly listed company and we've got about a $75 million turnover. So it's very, we then support the ginger growers. We're Australia's largest processor of ginger, premium Australian ginger, and we export to over 17 countries around the world.
Partnering of a large or medium-sized business with a small or a startup does help them to remember where they came from and sort of help them to, innovate more quickly and more effectively.
Perhaps not surprisingly, with FIAL's leadership, these clusters are now looking to collaborate with each other.
Something that's really exciting too, outside of what the funding has done for us directly, is that it has connected us to these other clusters in the country, and I can see some huge opportunities going forward for us to be able to do some partnership projects, share learnings, share knowledge with those other clusters.
Innovation and collaboration, the keys to the future of food production in Australia.
The future for FIAL is to continue to be the thought leader and act as the catalyst that really drives that innovative capacity across the country. It's to identify initiatives that respond to some of our key challenges and opportunities, and finally it's to align the disparate and fragmented industry so we're working together as one to grow the share of Australian food in the global marketplace.